Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So I've been doing a lot of errands this morning, and there's one thing that I do that has become like a little ritual that I do, and I wanted to kind of share it with you guys. Okay, so a little backstory. There is this scientist who did these tests of water, right? So he had 2 glasses of water, and in 1 glass of water he would say like the most vile, horrible things, right? And in the other glass of water he would play good music, love songs, he would say great things, I love you, good energy, right? Good things. And then the other set of water he would do, say like bad things, right? So what he was trying to determine is if there were going to be a molecular change, right? So after he did this, I want to say he did it for a couple of days. So in, 2 separate rooms, one room, negative things, bad music, weird sounds. The other room is like symphony music and, love songs and, saying positive affirmations to it. So once he did this for a couple of days, he put both water under a microscope. And in the water that had the horrible, vile things said to it, the molecular structure was disoriented. It was just like, it was not neat. It looked like a disease, actually. It looked crazy, right? And I'm gonna see if I can find the video so I can put it at the end. And in the one that he had, classical music playing and positive things, it was like pretty. It looked like a snowflake. You know how the cool snowflakes, it looked like a star, like it looked great. It looked like very pretty, right? Pleasing to the eye. And so basically he was doing this to test what your energy does, okay? And basically in this test, he basically came to the conclusion that when you speak positive, you're gonna have a positive reaction. When you speak negative, you're gonna have a negative reaction. Now, we all know that logically, right? And so it was basically a test that says, yes, words matter. Your energy matters, okay? So I completely agree. I try to stay positive. If you know me in real life, like I'm this cheerleader. I'm like, now mind you, I do have like my moments, but for the most part, I'm like positive. No, we don't say negative thoughts. I even, if my kids say something that is not confirming, affirming, positive, I always say, babies, don't speak bad about yourself ever. Don't speak bad about yourself. Don't speak bad about others. Because, right, the energy that you give out is the energy that you're going to receive. Okay, so what I've been doing is when I go out of my house, when I leave and I do errands, there's this thing called subliminals. And basically it's music in 432 hertz. And sometimes it's not in that particular hertz, but it's music, it's affirmations on low where you don't hear the actual words, you just hear the music, and it's basically positive. You can do subliminals, for example, for love, for manifesting. I listen to a lot of subliminals on my YouTube, like on my phone, and if I want to, conjure up some money, I put a money subliminal on and I sleep with it. And so what I've also added to the pot is I put it on my TV and I turn the volume up. And so while I'm out and about, I put on different subliminals. So the one that I've been listening to lately is one for love, money, health, success. Okay, and so while I'm gone, I feel like the energy gets into the house. So you guys may think I'm weird, but so I feel like that energy is getting to the house, right? And the energy is just like, yeah, I got this, like, it's gonna be a great day. I even put on what's called ramages. Oh, I hope I'm saying that right. And it's basically fast affirmations over and over in a loop. So depending on what I'm feeling that day, sometimes I feel like maybe I need to pick me up. And then there's a Rampage that says everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. And it's with like slow music, and it just gets into your subconscious, because affirmations is really powerful, and robotic affirmations is powerful. And robotic affirmations is when you say the same affirmation over and over and over, so you can kind of brainwash yourself. So this morning I was like, okay, I gotta go run some errands. So I put on my subliminal, and I was like, oh man, I have to tell people, because you guys, I talk to my house, I talk to my water, I talk to everything. And I'm not afraid to share. I'm weird, yeah, maybe it's weird. But what I do is, so what I say is, for example, like I'm like, thank you God, thank you universe for this house, because I walk around my house and I like to clean. It's just a thing. Like, I don't really like to cook, but I like to clean. So when I'm cleaning, I'm just like, thank you so much God, thank you so much universe, thank you so much house, thank you so much home for protecting us. Like, I talk. And they also say, like, when you drink water, you should say an affirmation before you drink the water. Okay, so like, for example, if you're drinking water, you're like, today's gonna be a good day, and you drink it, right? And I can kind of put that with, that's how we do toast. Like when you're out with your friends, you're like, hey guys, let's have a toast. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Cheers. That's kind of like the same thing, but instead I just do it by myself, and I do it with water. To me, water is so extremely powerful. When I take showers, I do affirmations in the shower. Like I'm, washing my body and stuff, and I'm just like, today's gonna be a great day. Everything always works out for me. Like I say it on a loop. And I try to just get in the right frame of mind. So I was thinking, like, you know what? This would be a great thing. You guys, I don't know if you're familiar, but maybe look into subliminals. Search YouTube, and whatever your situation is, if you want health, wealth, money, they have one with, everything on it. They have a lot of things. So I use that all the time, and I'm just like, what do I need right now? All right, let me do some money, and and so I put on those subliminals, and you just get in the right mindset. I leave it on in my house when I'm away. Sometimes I have it on while I'm here. I just use everything to my advantage as far as energy, right? Because words are powerful. If you've seen any of my other videos, words are like spells, okay? And you can brainwash yourself. And that's how you have to brainwash your subconscious mindset, because you have to continue to put positive energy into your subconscious mindset, right? Into your subconscious, and, take away limiting beliefs, all of that. So subliminals is where it's at. Maybe try that. Maybe try robotic affirming, and it's just saying a particular affirmation over and over and over and over. So you can even say, like if you're not feeling the best, if you're sad, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. Like, you don't have to say it out loud either. You can say it in your mind. Me, I say it out loud a lot because I'm alone a lot. So it's like, I like to say it out loud a lot. I like to just walk around and saying different affirmations. It's just one way that I try to harness my energy. Okay. And another thing is, so I've been having a lot of expenses because I'm sorry. I got a call and it cut off my camera, so sorry. But what I was gonna say is this. I had a project come up, so I've been having a lot of expenses, and sometimes people will be like, oh, I don't want to pay the money, and that may be a separate video. But one affirmation that I do is I say, money comes to me easily, money comes to me frequently, money coming to be with me, money coming to me, money coming to me, money coming to me. So I do a kind of like a chant, right? Because sometimes when we're growing up, we're taught that money is lack, money's hard to come by, oh man, I gotta pay these bills. But I believe you have to kind of just rearrange the way you see things, right? Yes, this money's going out, I gotta pay this, and this, but you know what? It's gonna come back to me. it's gonna come back to me. And that's how I think about it. And usually it does, like literally it does. I'm like, dang, I just got a deposit. Like, what is this for? And it'd be some random thing that I didn't even know was coming in. Like it works, truly and honestly, it works. So you guys, use your affirmations, use your robotic affirming, use your subliminals, like all of that works. Thoughts become things. You have to brainwash your subconscious mindset. You have to reset it, because we have a lot of belief systems that really don't serve us. So that's what I do. I walk around my house and I say, thank you God, thank you universe, thank you house, thank you so much for protecting us. Like I literally just speak life into everything around me. So I hope that helped you. If you do decide to try subliminals, like please let me know if you like it, how you like it, and just give me a status update. I'll be responding in the comments, so I will definitely respond back. But yeah, start talking to your house, talk to your water. I know it may sound weird if you're not really familiar, but it works. Speak life into everything, in addition to speaking life into your kids and your friends and all that. That's kind of, sorry, I forgot to mention that, but yes, speak life into others, but also like when you're home, your home is your sanctuary, right? So speak life, speak positive energy, and maybe start leaving on subliminals when you're gone, so you can, have the house have positive energy and bringing more prosperity, good health, and well-being. Okay, so I hope you guys had a great day. I hope I didn't look too crazy. But anywho, I hope you guys have a great day and be brave.
I personally believe this is one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time. I am really shocked that we don't even learn this in school. This is some next level stuff, and it was verified to be true. Dr. Masaru Emoto, and what he discovered was, when you speak to the water and you say certain things like, I love you, or, you're my friend.
Or beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful,
yeah.
Angel. It could be simple, just like angel, happiness, peace. When you say these positive words to the water and then you freeze it, it makes beautiful shapes.
Most of the time they're symmetrical. They look like
you
beautiful.
Google images, they have photos of this.
They look like snowflakes, like beautiful symmetrical snowflakes.
Now when you say mean, nasty words to the water and then they freeze the water, it would make ugly, repulsive shapes.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah, like cracks and looks like damage.
Bubbles.
And he basically proved that like your consciousness and your will combined with the intention behind your words affects reality. It's like the concept that like your words are magic, so much so that you change physical reality.
Yeah, it is quite literally proof that the things that come out of your mouth
change reality,
affect your physical
What if
surroundings.
water could listen? What if it could feel and even remember? Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher, dared to ask a question that would ripple through science and spirituality alike. Does consciousness affect the molecular structure of water? He exposed water to different words, prayers, music, and even intentions. Then he froze the water and photographed the crystals that formed. The results? Beautiful, harmonious shapes appeared when the water was shown compassion, gratitude, and truth. But disfigured, chaotic forms emerged from anger, fear, and negativity. If water responds to energy and intention, and you are mostly water, then your thoughts, your words, your feelings are sculpting your reality every single moment. From the glass in your hand, to the oceans that cradle life, to the tears we cry, water is listening. So speak with love, think with kindness, because the universe is made of memory and water.
Frequency audios, how do they actually work? Your brain is always producing electrical activity, and people call these brainwaves. You don't need to memorize these names, but what you need to understand is speed. So when your brain is fast, you are alert, you are stressed, you are thinking, you question everything. And this state makes change harder because you keep analyzing and rejecting new ideas. Now, when your brain slows down, you become more calm, more absorbed. You're still awake, but you feel less mental noise, and that state makes learning easier. Right before sleep and right after waking up, most people naturally drop into a slower, dreamy, this type of absorbed state. This is also why people connect subliminals and frequency audio's hypnosis with sleep, because when you're sleeping, when you're in that state, the brain is more open to learning in that window. Your conscious mind has a filter, okay? The filter is part of you that says, I don't believe this, that is not me, that is impossible. This filter protects your identity. It tries to keep you the same person. And in self-hypnosis, your goal is to quiet this filter right here. When you are relaxed and absorbed, the filter here is quieter. And then you argue less with new input, you take in more. Now, biologically, your brain changes through repetition. Every time you repeat an idea, a feeling, or a mental image, your brain strengthens that pathway, and that is how a new habit forms. So if you repeat fear every day, your brain gets good at fear. If you repeat calm, confidence, a new self-image every day, your brain starts building that pathway as well. Now, this is where subliminals come in. So they are a form of repeated input. They are training material. Obviously, not all subliminals are built the same. A lot of YouTube subliminals are basically a song with affirmations under it. And sometimes, of course, it still helps because it relaxes you and you repeat it a lot. But if you want more consistent impact, the audio has to be designed to guide your state. The goal is to reduce stress in the body, steady your attention, and keep you in a receptive learning mode. Subliminals that actually cause neurological change are always structured with these things. So this subliminal is not just one track. So one track is an audible track like music or ambience. In this case, a frequency ambience, which helps your nervous system settle so your body feels safe. One layer is a message layer, so these are affirmations or suggestions. They are placed in a repeated and in a specific way. And one layer, the important layer, is rhythmic modulation. That means the volume or intensity pulses in a steady pattern. The brain likes rhythm, your body relaxes more, and the filter right here gets more quiet. This is why this type of audio works for people. Rhythm and repetition can actually change your state. The best way to use it is the sleepy window, so right before sleep or right after waking up.